Do you know if the UN or other countries in the West are providing aid?
To refugees?
Mm-hmm.
Not to Christian refugees, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are not getting aid. A lot of them, none of them are in camps. They're in ghettos.
Mm-hmm.
And Syrian refugees have taken precedence. Now Ukrainian refugees and then Afghan refugees have taken precedence.
Mm-hmm.
So the Iraqi and Syrian Christian refugees are known as the forgotten people.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to let that happen at all.
No, absolutely not. Uh, what has the Turkish government? I won't ask about the Syrian because that situation is such a mess. They may not have been able to do anything yet. But what is the Turkish government doing for the millions of their citizens who are now homeless?
The Turkish government is trying its best from what we see.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of help has come from the West. So
Mm-hmm.
from what we hear, it's more chaotic in Syria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're having a hard time getting organized. They have had
Mm-hmm.
a hard time getting organized. Now it's been a month, right? So um, things are a little bit more calm in Syria. In Turkey, they are providing, UN is present, and they're providing um, tents for them, some housing, uh,
Mm-hmm.
food, and etc. This is going to be a long, long haul for these
Right.
people.
Right.
Long for these people.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, the Erdogan regime has come under scrutiny. Uh, they have an election which was postponed, I believe, to April.
Mm-hmm.
Some are saying that Erdogan is going to get reelected. Some are saying no, he won't get reelected. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that when we were there, a few of the contractors, builders,
Mm-hmm.
because of the corruption, they had built the houses incorrectly. Um, and so they were fleeing the country, but they were being arrested as they were trying to flee the country. So I think they're trying to do their best, but
Mm-hmm.
corruption has
Right.
all the world of aid. That's why we, as a small organization, have been able to really be on the ground, monitor how the aid is being distributed, and we know exactly where each package, where each dollar goes. And we've been able to, Pastor David, you know, I'm a big believer in partnerships. We as a board of directors believe in partnerships. So we've been able to partner with 3 organizations on the ground to be able to deliver aid more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
We're partners with Assyrians Without Borders. If they need us, if we need them, they're there for us. The other is Charity Brings Us Together. It's a small organization built by refugees themselves that we partner with. We've also partnered with the Archdiocese of Turkey, of Istanbul. And they're our partners anyway for the last 6 years, 5 years, helping the refugees.
Mm-hmm.
It's as we have provided aid to the refugees under the banner of I Adopt a Refugee program.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's very good to see the people that we've assisted. I mean, I'm in the region a lot. Turkey, I was there in 2019. It was good to be back there. It was good to be face to face with those that we've assisted, whether it was for medical reasons, whether it was for their rent or food. In Jordan, we've been much, much more present physically. I've been able
Mm-hmm.
to much more often.
Mm-hmm.
And Jordanian, Iraqi refugees in Jordan, many of them that I know are our family. They're
Mm-hmm.
family to
Mm-hmm.
me. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, it's I'm not going to say it's a heavy cross to bear. I would say it's a responsibility that is very big for us, Pastor David, as an organization.
Yes.
But it's a privilege and it's
Mm-hmm.
an honor to be his hands and feet on the ground, to be able to be a small voice for them, to be a ray of hope for them,
Mm-hmm.
and and really their faith is astonishing,
Mm-hmm.
jarring. how strong their faith is in God and in Jesus. It's so real. I mean, we were stunned, really,
Mhm.
with how faithful they are
Mhm.
and how accepting they are in
Mhm.
pain, but they're accepting it.
Yes. My suspicion is that many people in the West uh, would find it impossible to hold on to their faith with what those folks have been through, which is a testimony both to the strength of their faith and its importance in getting them through what they've dealt with.
Yeah, our team that went from the West,
Mhm.
we were reflecting every night
Mhm.
with our visits. And, you know, I went with two Middle Eastern men,
Mhm.
one is from Australia, or he's resettled in Australia, and one is in here in America, in Detroit, and he's resettled here.
Mhm.
And you know, Middle Eastern men don't cry. They
Right.
don't show emotion. But these
Mhm.
two men were extremely emotional.
Mhm.
One, with how stunned they were with the faith of these people.
Mhm.
Two, with the monumental amount of suffering that is underway for
Mhm.
years, for years.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. It's a heartbreak, really.
Mhm. It is. Total number of refugees at this point, Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan is approximately what?
We have about 11,000, maybe a little bit more now in Jordan.
Mhm.
They're mainly in two areas, in Amman and a suburb of Amman called Al Fahis.
Mhm.
Um, in Turkey, we have about 5,000.
Mhm.
And in Lebanon, we have about 5,000, something like that. And you
Mhm.
know, the sad part that our donors need to know, you know, when I came as a refugee to the United States with my family, it was the entire family was intact. UN
Right.
did not separate us 33 years ago when we came to the States. But now they send the parents to Canada, for example. They send one daughter to Sweden. They send another son. They send their son to Australia. And so they really destroy the family unit, not
Mhm.
just the community, but even the immediate families torn apart. Like this man, his name is Imad. He has one child in America. He has one child in Canada and one child in Australia.
Mhm.
And I said, "Where do you want to go?" He says, "I don't know." To any of those three countries.
Mhm. Is that a family choice, or are they being forced to separate that way?
They're forced to separate that way.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to be separated from their
No,
family.
I wouldn't think.
Middle Easterners are all about community. Um we long for the family to be together, not just the immediate family, the extended family.
Mhm.
It's heartbreaking for me as an Assyrian to
Mhm.
see my nation be, you know, spread across the world. It's heartbreaking.
Mhm.